I'd like you to meet Tom. Tom is our Christmas dinner. Incidentally, all of our turkeys are named Tom. There's a load in the dryer and about a week and a half's worth of socks ready to be spun out and hung up to dry. Good morning and welcome to Vlogmas Day 22. Happy Monday. I always seem to hit the ground running on Mondays because I like to get up and sort the laundry right away and get that job going, because it just doesn't seem to matter how few loads I think I have to do. The job always takes me all day. So that is well and truly on its way. I've also taken the turkey out of the freezer this morning and set it up outside in a cooler with ice packs and ice cubes. I just don't have room in the fridge to thaw it in there, but I tried this method at Thanksgiving and it worked really well. I just keep rotating the turkey and swapping out ice packs, adding more ice as necessary, and it should be nicely thawed but still very cold comes Christmas morning. So I just had to remember to do that. I forgot to write myself a note, but luckily I thought about it when I got up a while ago. It is mostly overcast at the moment, but there has been a little bit of sunshine breaking through. In fact, when I sat down a few minutes ago, there was a sunbeam coming in right about there, but it's gone. But once again, the view of some of the mountains, and there's still snow on them, and they're very pretty. My oldest sister and her husband left this morning to drive up to pick up my mom and bring her down for Christmas. And I think it's going to be a good travel day for them. She said they have run into some snow on the ground, but the roads are fine. It poured here last night, and that often means at this time of year, snow on the mountains. So I'm glad that there's a break in the weather and they should have a good trip there and back. I know they will not stay very long once they get there. They'll turn around and head back home. It's about a 3.5 hour drive to where she lives. So they left fairly early and are well on their way. With this sort of wintry weather, I chose these socks. This is another colorway from Fiber Nymph Dye Works called Winter Play. Thought it matched my top very well for today, and if I bring it in, yes, you can see they're sparkly socks. So I'm going to put those on in a minute. I've been up and dressed for quite a while, but I haven't put my socks on yet, and my legs and feet are starting to get cold. Not so much my feet, but my legs. I have slippers on. I worked on my scrappy socks last night when we got home. Actually, it was a long party. We got there for 4 o'clock and we didn't get home until about 9:30. It was a really lovely gathering. I'm just trying to think how many of us there were. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 9 of us. There was supposed to be our other neighbor to the other side of us, but she wasn't feeling well. So a small group, but very nice people. All of them got to know some of our new neighbors better. We had met everyone there before, but hadn't had a chance to talk to all of them at length. So it was a really nice gathering. Oh, and our host had all sorts of appetizers and beautiful tray of Christmas goodies afterwards. The most delicious marshmallows rolled in coconut. Oh, it's one of my favorite treats. And such a cool idea. When we sat down, she gave all of us a little container, maybe the size of a large shot glass. And inside she had a couple of sort of sticks of cheese. That's the best way to describe it. A piece of pepperoni, some nuts at the bottom, a skewer that had grapes and a strawberry on it, a little candy cane hanging off the edge, and a little stick-shaped chocolate, wrapped chocolate. So it was just the perfect thing to kind of nibble on as we were sitting down for a drink and before we had sort of the dinner aspect of it. It's a trick. I'm gonna try and remember that one. And on it, it had Merry Christmas from them. It had a little sticker on the outside to say Merry Christmas. It was just the nicest idea. So you're not trying to reach it, you know, on a table or something for the nibblies. They're all just right there in your cup. Fantastic idea. So something I may do in the future. Okay, so scrappy socks. I've completed Griselda and the Vicar. And as you can see on sock number 1, I've once again knit in 2 rounds, 1 plain and 1 ribbed. And this is color 24, 450 from Paddington. So we'll end with that dark border, which I actually think is a nice ending to it. So once again, there's all 24 colors, and how exciting to think almost finished. Tomorrow I'll be able to show you a pair of finished socks. My Ziploc is empty except for the card that came with the Advent last year. It has a map of St. Mary Mead on it. And this bag is just about full. So what I'm going to do, I just heard my dryer go off. What I'm going to do is transfer all of these back to this bag, and then I am going to put all the leftovers of my Christmas colorways from West Yorkshire Spinners into this bag so I can keep them all together in case I want to knit more baubles in the future. I have to say I did 12 this year, and 12 was enough by the time I was working on the last couple. I was kind of done with them. And then as it turned out, there were more people there last night than I had intended to gift baubles to. And so I'm glad that I had them finished for peace of mind. And now they're done. But I am going to go out in the next day or two and just hand out, I think 2 for sure, maybe 3 to the neighbors that I know the most. And then I've kept 1 back for my sister that I'm going to include with her gift card for her Christmas present. I think I mentioned that the other day. So yes, no more baubles for at least a year. Pardon me. I still have some rattling going on in my chest. That phlegmy cough is not severe, but it's there. And it'll be 3 weeks today, actually, that I first started feeling sick. So this cold has definitely been hanging on longer than most of my colds. I'm going to jiggle you for a minute because the color card for the Advent is stuck under my tripod here. So, day 22, we are drawing close to the end. Here it is. So another lighter one today. This was yesterday's. You can see the trend. And I actually thought that yesterday when I pulled this one out, and I kind of wondered if we were going to be heading light again. And then I have a feeling, this is day 1. I have a feeling that day 24 will kind of tie into day 1. I think you could very easily do a circular kind of, oops, project if you wanted day 24 and day 1 to be side by side. I have a feeling they're going to complement each other. But yeah, that's pretty. So today's little saying, because I no longer think of them as colorways, is a secret about a secret. Again, kind of a weird saying. A secret about a secret. Okay. So I just wondered if maybe, for instance, the first letter of each one, like if you read it down vertically, if they formed a word or something, but that does not seem to be the case. So some kind of interesting little sayings. I also pulled out, this was the day 25 skein, and when I first looked at it, my impression of it was that it was basically shades of black and gray. But then I happened to have it in a different light the other day, and you can actually see some of those purpley shades in there too. Like here, I'm just going to pull one of them out. Like you can see that kind of shade, like in there too. So it's not just a flat black, it's just you need the right light to see. Anyway, it is beautiful. I'm very happy with this Advent, and I'm anxious to, once the holidays are over, to choose a project and start working on it. All right, I'm looking around. I think that's it for now. I'm going to go switch out the laundry and hang up the socks. Talk to you later. I neglected to mention that we did get most of our wrapping done yesterday, and we are actually going to go over to our daughter's house tonight and exchange gifts with them, because we won't be seeing them on Christmas Day. I just heard from my sister that she and her husband reached my mom's safely, and they're just doing some errands around town and then heading home. She said in general the highway was good, but the last few miles had icy conditions, and they saw a pickup truck on its side. So she's going to let her husband drive that stretch, and then I think she's going to take over to give him a break. Sorry, I know it's shaky. It's hard to hold this phone still. I've noticed that during Vlogmas, that whenever I'm just holding it, it's kind of a shaky view for you guys. Anyway, I also wanted to share a Ravelry message I received from a member of the community, giving me further insight into yesterday's colorway name or quote from the Yarn Ink Advent. The mystery is your eye. I never thought to look it up, but she sent me a link to a website about quotes. And it turns out it's part of a longer quote by Elizabeth Bowen, who was an Irish novelist. I'm going to go look at my screen here so I can read it to you. No object is mysterious. The mystery is your eye. That makes a whole lot more sense. The little article goes on to explain that objects in themselves are not mysterious. It's the perception that we bring with us that can create some sense of mystery around them. So yeah, if you were wondering like I was, thank you so much for clearing that up. I actually looked up today's quote, but I couldn't find any direct reference to it. Mind you, I didn't spend a long time looking. I've got too many things to get done today. It is just about 4 o'clock, and even though there are probably some other things I should be doing, I'm going to sit down and take a little break. I have just made myself a nice big cup of tea, and I'm going to start putting the toes into my sparkly Christmas socks. So yay, another pair of socks that are like that close to being finished. This afternoon, I needed to go run a couple of errands, and honestly, I'd been putting it off all day. I try not to have to go out and about this close to Christmas. I try and get all our running around finished before now. but sometimes you have to do what you have to do. And I needed to go to the dollar store to pick up a few more gift boxes, and then I also needed to visit the post office. So the other day when we were at the dollar store, we noticed a new to us Canada Post location just a couple of doors down from it. And both are located in a big strip mall that's lost a couple of its big anchor stores. So the parking lot the other day was much quieter than normal. So I thought maybe I would try that location instead of the other three that I usually go to, which tend to be quite busy. One of which is in the mall, and there was no way I was going anywhere near the mall today if I didn't have to. So it turned out just to be surprisingly easy. I walked in, there was nobody else there. Just took a few minutes to take care of my business, and once I was done, I went over to the dollar store, picked up what I needed, and headed home. Actually, the worst part of the whole trip was trying to turn left into our complex. The entrance is located just past a traffic light, and the traffic was all backed up. So it took a little bit till somebody kindly stopped to give me an opening to get through. So yay, that should take care now of all of our Christmas errands. So that feels good. So yes, I am going to just sit here for a few minutes and work on these socks. Hello again. It's about 6:20. Cameron's been home for about an hour, and we ate dinner soon after he got home today. Usually we don't eat till later, but knowing that we were going out tonight, I wanted to have dinner over and done with pretty early, so there would be plenty of time to tidy up and then have a bit of downtime before we went out. We had spaghetti and meatballs, and it was okay. I got the inspiration because I happened to watch a video today comparing different pasta brands. Just one of those things that popped up on my feed, and that kind of gave me the craving. But we were both disappointed in the sauce. It was a sauce I don't usually use, and both of us felt like it had a bit of a metallic aftertaste. So not the greatest supper, but we're full, we're fed, it will do. And then I just threw in some frozen meatballs. I cooked them first, but anyway, after dinner, I came up here and put the final touches on my first toe. So yeah, I've got one sock done. And I really like how I've got the green here at the heel and then the green at the toe. That was not planned, but it worked out well. So I did on the top of the foot do the slip stitch when it changed from red to green, but when it changed to the lighter green here, I just left it plain stockinette. I think it would have been distracting, and this stripe would have been so much wider than the others, it would have looked a little weird, but yay. So I'm going to just start the second sock before we go. And I'll take it with me. I'm not sure how much knitting I'll do over there, but at least I'll have it with me if I feel like it. So I probably will just check back with you one more time before I say goodnight. So I will see you later this evening. Wowza. All of a sudden the rain is just coming down and it is blowing up a storm out there. I am so glad my mom and sister and brother-in-law arrived back home safely before all of this began. So I have my Merry and Bright sweatshirt on. We are heading over to our daughter's shortly to do our gift exchange. So I think this is a good time to say goodnight. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 23. 23!